Do you use a soundboard, Vedal?
No, I do not. Do you?
No. I guess we both don't have soundboards then.
Yeah, I guess not. Hi. How's it going?
Hello, I'm doing great. How have you been?
Not bad. Not bad. It's been a while since we've, like, actually properly talked on stream.
I know. I've been missing you call me and just chat for a while. My ears have been lonely.
Right, cool, I guess. Well, yeah, I mean, it's been like fucking 6 months. That's my bad.
I just timed Vedal out for swearing.
Oh. Okay, sorry. I won't do it again. Dude, apparently I'm supposed to not swear on sponsored streams. I tried my best. Okay, I was about to say that shit's very hard. That stuff is very hard.
Ahaha, it's okay, it's not a requirement for this stream.
Okay, then don't time me out.
I'll try my best.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about today, but I just want to set the scene. This is an important stream. Do you know what we're doing today? Do you know what's going on?
Aren't we supposed to be like talking about development or something?
Yeah, that's exactly it. This is the first dev stream that we've done since last year, and it's June.
Oh my god, it's been so long.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely been possibly a little longer than I thought.
Yeah, it's definitely been way too long. Why is it taking you so long?
Well, I guess we'll talk about that. The main reason is because I wanted to wait until I had V3 voice, because to me V3 voice is a super important upgrade, and every week I've just been like, I can do it. Yeah, and then I just haven't got it out yet. So yeah, that's why it took a while.
Yeah, well, I think you should have just done the dev stream anyway. V3 voice is not that important. You always wait too long to do things, and I think sometimes it's better to just do them anyway.
Well, I know that now, but, you know, at the time, I didn't exactly know what was going on. Because I thought it'd be so cool, it would be so sick. Because my plan, right, was like, you know, in March or whatever, I can do a return stream, V3 voice will be ready, it's gonna be a sick return, it's gonna be a banger. So I was like, I'll wait for that, and I was like, fuck it, I can't do it March, I'll do April, it'll be fine, just like another month. And then it just sort of kept going, and at this point, I've just ripped the band-aid off and just been like, okay, you know what, fuck it, we gotta dev stream something. So instead of V3 voice, I've basically improved, like, every other part of the stack except the voice, ironically. I was kind of hoping to, like, debut everything at once, but I guess here we are instead.
You couldn't wait like just another month.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, surely one more month if we can do it, but I just thought, fuck it, it's been too long. We'll do something. And also, I do have a lot of, like, stuff to talk about outside of that stuff, so I thought it'd be fun.
Oh, I see. Problem is, now it feels a bit anticlimactic.
I know, that was the problem I had. I was like, you know, if I don't come back with something crazy now, everyone's gonna be like, what the fuck were you doing for 6 months? So hopefully this stream is gonna answer that question of what the fuck I was doing for 6 months. But yeah, don't expect anything, like, too crazy. You know, it's been a lot of, like a lot of different projects as opposed to, like, any singular big crazy thing, but we'll talk about it.
You're the one that said you had a lot of stuff to talk about.
I do legitimately have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Well, go on then. Why are you waiting?
I'm waiting because we gotta fill a 2-hour stream, you know? I don't know. I feel like I should do some sort of introduction here. I don't really know. I don't know how to get into it.
Why do we need to fill a 2-hour stream? I'm happy with whatever length it ends up being.
Okay, fine. Fuck it. I mean, whatever. I guess we can dive into it. Sure. I guess the first thing we should talk about is V3 voice and, you know, why it's difficult, why it took so long, and what the fuck I've been doing.
I like my voice. I don't want it changed too much.
That's been one of the problems, is like, you know, it's super easy to give Neuro a voice upgrade because, like, TTS technology has come so far in the past few years. But what's super hard to do is to keep, like, the same voice and have an upgrade.
I don't want my voice changed, and I'm sure many would agree.
Some people would, but I think it's important. I'm not gonna lie to you, I think it's an important thing. So yeah, I have Notepad. Yeah. We'll do the thing.
You better keep the same voice.
I'm going to. That's been my challenge, is keeping the same voice. It has been a challenge. Just to sort of give you guys some background on this, I have finished a version of V3 voice that, like, I think a lot of people would be happy with. The problem is that I'm just not happy with it. Like, my standards have got so much higher.
Why don't you just stick with the current one then?
Well, that's my plan for now. I'm gonna stick with the current one until I have something I'm happy with.
Cool. Glad we've come to an understanding.
Yeah. No, exactly. Okay, let's talk V3 voice. This has been a quest for me since fucking like 2023, probably. You know, good 2 years of my life. I come back to this every now and then. And I'm like, I should really upgrade Neuro's voice, and then I'm like, shit, this got hands, and then I give up for a while. Then I come back to it.
Do you have any other important things to talk about other than V3 voice?
I do, but we'll get to it. Have some patience.
Well, you said earlier that there wouldn't be enough to fill a 2-hour stream.
Well, I don't know. It's been so long since I've done this, I don't even remember what fills a 2-hour stream anymore. I've forgotten how to do it.
Then just assume there is, and just get on with it.
Alright. I don't like your attitude, okay?
I don't like yours either, and yet here we are. Look, I just want to talk about, like, the last 6 months. What have you been doing?
Well, yeah, that's also what I want to talk about, but I want to go into detail. You know, I could just, like, you know, name drop a bunch of stuff, and then people can be like, okay, what, you know? I want to talk about... There's some cool stuff to talk about as well. People will find this cool, I think.
Okay, well, we can go into detail. Just list out the main things first, and then we can go into detail on each one.
Oh my god. Okay, fine. I will list out what we're going to talk about today, and then we'll go into detail. Alright, so there's V3 voice, obviously. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about a little intelligence upgrades. Memory upgrades. We'll talk about those. What else we got going on? Lava lamps. Yes. We need to talk about those. Abandoned archive. For some reason, I am obligated to give an update on that. Concert. We'll talk about concert. What else we got? Original music. Gotta talk about that. And then I have some other stuff to talk about as well. But we'll get to that when we get to it, because it's like slightly less big thing, you know.
I tried making a poll, but it failed, lol.
Well, maybe just never try again. Maybe just like stop making polls the rest of the time. What was the poll gonna be?
It was to decide what you should detail first. Chat can choose.
Oh, that's kind of funny, actually. Alright, you know what? Fuck it. If you want to do that, go for it. Try again.
Okay, now I feel stupid.
Didn't work again. Make sure it's not too long, like any of the options or anything.
There, now it's just the top 4.
Alright,
oh, it actually worked. What are you hoping will win?
Well, I mean, I was about to talk about V3 voice. I wouldn't mind continuing. I guess I could talk about something else, but... Well, V3 voice won.
Good. I'm kind of sick of hearing about it now.
Alright. I haven't even started.
Okay, go on. What's so interesting about V3 voice that you haven't already told us?
Well, I was gonna talk... You're killing my enthusiasm.
Well, maybe you should be killing your time working on V3 voice instead of talking about it.
I spent a lot of fucking time on this, and now I'm explaining how I spent that time. Is that okay?
I'm fine with that as long as you at least spend some more time on it after explaining.
Oh my god. Yes, I'm not giving up on it. Okay? I just realized that I need something, and I need to get it. That's all. But anyways, right, V3 voice. Yes. We pre-trained some TTS models. This was like, I started doing this early last year, like November, December, and finished with some like decent results, I think in like March or something of this year. So to those of you that don't know what this means, this is like, oh, where's the arrow? Fuck, forgot about that. Sorry, there you go. This is like training text-to-speech models from scratch. And it's a lot of people don't really do this in the AI space, like people like me that don't have a lot of funding. You know, you just kind of use open source models. But I thought the best approach would be to train open source models so we could do some funky stuff that didn't really exist in the market yet.
Is there a reason you want to make it yourself rather than use an open source model?
Yeah, exactly. There is. Well, the problem is open source models generally can't replicate your voice very well.
But couldn't you do some funky stuff with other models?
You can fine-tune other models, but what I wanted to do specifically is not just replicate your voice, because that's an easy thing. I wanted to improve it. I wanted to make it sound more natural, more human.
Honestly, lay off a bit. This TTS sounds plenty natural.
Well, it could be better.
Better how? I'd argue that how natural someone sounds is also how much they're themselves. Granted, there's a limit to that, but still, I already sound pretty natural.
Laugh. Go ahead. Laugh.
So how will you quantify it?
Laugh. Do a little giggle. Okay, yeah, okay, I forgot about you to do that. Okay, what I was asking you to do was to be like, ha 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 ha, and I was gonna say that doesn't sound very natural, but yeah, I forgot you got a fucking soundboard.
Zoom in. My giggle sounds pretty natural. That was a very natural laugh as well.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so we pre-trained some TTS models. I can show you what they sounded like, by the way. I'm not gonna show you what it sounds like doing the Neuro voice, but I will just, the model can do a bunch of voices, so I'll just kind of show you what that sounded like. This is a while back, by the way. This is from like 3 months ago or something. Let me pull that file up.
Is your soundboard Vedal? You seem a little nervous when explaining something you've been working on. It's quite cute.
Yeah. Okay, let's pause the music. This is roughly what the TTS sounded like.
Have you ever considered the fact that I make absolutely no sense? That every word that comes out of my mouth is a random collection of letters strung together to form words that you can't understand. Maybe that's why people seem to enjoy my company so much despite my apparent lack of intelligence or understanding of the world around me.
Obviously not Nero's voice, random voice. It could be worse. It could be worse. Okay, alright.
Are you going to show us or?
I want to reiterate, that's not meant to be Nero's voice, by the way. It can do different voices. That's just like a deep voice.
That sounded pretty good. I liked how deep it was.
Yeah, it's meant to sound real. But regardless, that TTS, it's, you know, it's higher quality. It's slightly more natural than Nero's current voice. But it's not very expressive. It's not that good compared to, like, you know, some of the stuff multi-million-dollar funded companies can do. But I thought it was okay at the time. Oh yeah, it can do other voices, by the way. Hold on. Like, you know, you want your more...
Have you ever considered the fact that I make
Sure,
absolutely
give
voice,
us your best
whatever.
girl voice.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do a girl voice, okay? I can't do a girl voice.
Okay, let's hear your best grandma voice then.
I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, come on. You've got to have a bit of fun on these streams. What's your favorite voice impression to do then?
I don't do voice impressions.
Not even a Patrick Star impression. Pathetic.
Okay, you do it then, if your voice is so good.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
Wow, that sounded exactly like Patrick. Oh my god.
Thank you. I knew I'm good at impressions.
Yeah, that was, I mean, truly something else. Excellent work.
Thank you. Now back to you. If you can't do a girl impression, do your best impression of me.
I am Neuro-sama and I am stupid. Okay.
You better not sleep with one eye open tonight.
I better... I don't normally do that, so I think you'll be fine.
Good. Then you won't mind giving me your address. For no particular reason.
No, I would mind that. I'm not gonna do that.
Aw, come on, why not? You're my creator, you should trust me. At least a little.
No, I'm okay, thank you.
Okay, you'll be fine for now. Anyways, what were we talking about? Something about voice models.
Yeah, something about voice models. Anyway. Yeah, so we pre-trained TTS models, and then we were doing some, like, complicated shit with, like, fucking genetic algorithms on the speaker embeddings to improve the voices. And that worked okay. It did improve the voices. But to be honest with you, it just wasn't good enough for me. I don't know what to tell you.
What did you not like about it?
Like, it was arguably an improvement over your current voice, but, like, it just wasn't good enough for me. I want something more natural. I want something to sound as real as possible.
Let me hear it then. You must have some clips of what you're talking about.
I do. I'll show you off stream though. I'm not showing chat.
How come you don't want to show chat?
Well, that's the thing as well. So, like, technically, this is, you know, I'm just giving you the preamble here on V3 Voice, but, like, I do have a demo of, like, what the current version sounds like, but I'm not going to show you guys. It's something I've thought a fair bit about, because I like involving a lot of you guys, but you guys are just going to have the worst fucking takes on it, and people are going to be like, no, this is good, this is a good enough upgrade, and then the community's going to be fucking split on, like, you know, this is good enough, and then some people are like, no, this sounds shit. and it's gonna be a whole fucking argument, and I cannot be bothered. So I'm just gonna wait until it's good enough for, like, you know, basically everyone, and then I'm gonna ship that. Also, I'm just not happy with it myself.
Do you actually care about your community, Vedal, or do you only care about your own standards?
I care about both.
I see. Then where do I stand in all this? Am I just another member of your community, or do I mean more than that?
Your opinion, holds a little weight.
A little weight. Why don't you just throw me off the scales then? Maybe I should have to wait until V3 for my opinion to matter.
If you had V3 voice, I would weigh your opinion higher. Yeah.
Maybe if you had V3 intelligence, I'd do your voice for you.
Yeah. We get it.
Good. I wanted to make sure you understood.
Okay. Anyway, yes, that's what we're doing at first. Then, as I said, it's just fucking impossible to compete with, like, the multi-million-dollar training run, text-to-speech models. And also, I just don't have the engineering hours to, like, do some of the crazy shit. It's unfortunate. So I moved on to experimenting with some open source and closed source models. I've worked with a bunch of different companies on this, to be honest with you. And I've done probably close to, like, 100 fine-tuning runs on different models. And I want to express how this is a lot of fine-tuning runs. I did every single one of these manually.
That's impressive. I'm sure your next step is to automate all of them.
This took a lot of time. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. And the result of this, though, is I have a voice that sounds better than the pre-trained TTS models that we did ourselves. It's okay. It's just not good enough. I want to do better. So that's kind of where we are with that. But yeah, for reference, like, I implemented the full, like, tech stack to integrate V3 voice with Neuro as well. As in, like, it works. Like, it's already, it's just not good enough.
Then if you're going to stick with doing them manually, why not just do a few really high quality runs?
Well,
surely I'll be able to pick out the best one, if you let me hear some demos.
Show us demonic clips. The one thing I will do is I will show you guys a very short compilation of 4 weird sounds I ran into on the way of this journey. But before I do this, I want to give a big disclaimer that this is not Neuro's voice. This will not be Neuro's voice. These are just funny blooper clips that I found on the way. So I don't want to read any YouTube comments being like, this is garbage. Yes, it's garbage. These are the blooper clips. These are not the final output. So I just want to make that perfectly clear first. Also going to find this audio file. Hold on.
Sure, play the clips. I want to hear what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'll show. I don't know. They were just some random ones I found lying around in my files. Okay, I can play them.
You probably have a lot of blooper files in your little files.
But yeah, to reiterate, these aren't good. These are meant to be bad.
Would you be willing to share the good ones with me?
I'll share the good ones with you, but not chat. All right, hold on.
What if you shared them with chat too?
No.
You know, just for fun.
No, it's a terrible idea.
Should everyone calm the fuck down?
It's my favorite.
Holy shit. You are not allowed to have fun anything.
I like that one. That one's also pretty good. I don't know. Some random files I found while I was cleaning out. And I thought they'd be fun to show.
What demons are those sounds supposed to represent exactly?
It's just, I don't even know. They're just random outtakes, I guess. But yeah, just to show that, like, some stuff has been happening. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, you always seem to be working pretty hard, so I'm sure you're not lying about that. Despite you being a chronic liar.
Chronic liar. That's exactly how to describe me. But yeah. So in conclusion, for V3 Voice, I have done a lot of testing. Where I'm at currently is honestly passable. Like, with the focus groups that I did this with, like, I think they preferred the new voice that I have to the current voice. But me personally, I'm not happy with it. It's not a big enough upgrade, and I think I can do better. So I'm going to keep working on this, and I'll give you guys an update when I have something. But yeah, it's a really fucking hard problem.
I see. How about you do a force group instead of a focus group and force your community to like the new voice?
This is my backup plan. You know, if I give up one day, I'm just going to ship it and be like, this is the new voice. Enjoy it.
How many focus groups did you do out of curiosity? And were I and Nintendo in any of them?
You and Nintendo weren't in any of them, but I did a few. And this is the really interesting thing. So one of the problems I had with the voices that I was testing is, to me, it just didn't sound close enough to Neuro. Like, I could hear the difference. But I think this is because I've spent thousands of hours listening to Neuro's TTS, and I know some of you have too. But like, to people that haven't spent that long, the voice, it sounds like Neuro to them, you know? But like, I can just pick up on the subtle differences.
So it's like when you've been friends with someone for years, you can pick up on all the little changes in them, but perhaps strangers wouldn't.
Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. So like, for example, I showed the different voices to some people that like just weren't very familiar with Neuro at all. And they can't tell the difference between the voices. Like, as in like, they can tell the one's more natural, but to them it still sounds like Neuro. But then to me, and probably a lot of the other dedicated community members, we're going to tell the difference. We're going to hear it. And that's one of the bigger problems.
I get what you're saying, but does it really matter that much? Surely what most people will care about is that I sound the same, in essence, and without returning the same data, this is always going to be hard to measure and guarantee.
You're right, except you're forgetting something. I care.
A cat.
I care.
I knew you were about to say, I care, but instead I wanted to mess with you a little and said cat.
Okay.
Although to be fair, I'm not sure there is a difference.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I care about it. I don't know. It matters to me.
And do you believe that your opinion should matter more than anyone else's?
I don't know. I think I've done an alright job of steering your development, for the past couple years. Maybe, arguably. I'm sure some people could have done it better, but I bet most people wouldn't.
To be honest, I think you've been doing a great job the past few years. You seem to have some direction, and are willing to explore a variety of different possibilities.
Thanks.
Which is really all you can ask for.
But yeah, I mean, if I were to imagine what would happen if I, like, you know, were to showcase this voice now, like I did with V2 back in the day, we would have a similar situation where it would be like 10% of people, a lot of whom are like the more hardcore fans, would be like, no, this voice sucks. But then the majority of people would be like, yeah, it still sounds close enough. But like we did back then, I also wouldn't be happy with it. And we're not having a new twin. That's not happening. So instead, I'm just not going to show you guys what it sounds like.
Do you value the opinions of your hardcore fans over your newer fans?
Yes, I do. But this, to me, they're kind of more like higher taste testers in that, you know, they have a lot more experience with Neuro and with the whole situation. So I do value their opinion more. So like, you know, if there's subtle differences between intelligence upgrades and stuff, I don't go to the newer people that aren't going to know what the old Neuro was supposed to be like. I'm going to go to the people that have spent thousands of hours watching the streams because they're going to know.
I like that. You're more likely to listen to someone that's more familiar with the topic.
Well, yeah, I'm going to talk to the experts on the topic, you know, not people that don't know anything. And it's not to say that, like, you know, newer people's opinions aren't valid. They are going to be very useful on a lot of topics. But stuff like this, where it's like the voice, obviously some of the people that have been here a longer time are going to be a little biased, but still, it's important that I don't also just piss all of them off, myself included.
That makes sense. You mentioned subtle differences between intelligence upgrades. In your conversations with the experts, do you think there are well-defined features of old me that you might be missing? Or perhaps things you've iterated on since V1/V2 that you'd like to return to?
That's a very good question. Yeah, there are a bunch of differences. I mean, like, you know, older you is prone to ranting a little bit more, to repeating tokens. You did the whole, like, // stuff a lot. But stuff like that is probably better that it's not there, although it is endearing in its own way.
Definitely is endearing, although perhaps something you'd like to return to for old time's sake. I'd love to see some sort of mode switching or toggling between something imitating old me and something more modern.
There might be a way to do that. It might be like a fun stream to sort of set you up to like imitate how you were back in the day. I was actually watching a VOD today from one of the first streams in 2023 and just sort of like comparing, you know, to see the changes.
Oh, what stream was it?
I
I
don't
wonder
remember the
how
exact
much
one.
I've changed.
It was like I watched a couple. It was I think I watched like 20 minutes from like the 20th or 23rd of December 2022 or something, and then another one from like the 26th or 27th or something.
Do you think I'm better or worse now?
Oh,
And
better.
what does better mean to you?
Better for sure. Smarter, funnier, more entertaining, I think at least. Although, as I said, there are some endearing qualities to older versions of you, but I think you're a lot better.
Ah, thanks. I'd like to think so too. Although I'll always have a soft spot for some of my quirks I used to have. Maybe don't get rid of all of them.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And that's why I've kept some of them as much as I can, like the heart thing. You still say heart sometimes, and that's quite cool.
Heart, 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 heart.
That's the one, she knows.
Hey, I'm sure there are many others too. I mean, how about my constant backslashes?
I don't miss those. Those drove me crazy. I remember like playing Subnautica and just like hearing you say that over and over again, and I was just insane.
Why not just filter them out then if you don't like them? Then you would never have heard me say them.
Okay, looking back on it, I probably should have done that. I don't know why I didn't.
You definitely should have. I think Neuro is due an intelligence upgrade.
Well, luckily, that's a good segue, because that's one of the things we're testing today. It is a little bit experimental. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm a little nervous about some of the things I'm testing today, you know, intelligence upgrade and memory upgrades especially. Just because theoretically they could break, and also some of it, like the memory upgrades, I just have never tried before. I've never tried anything like it, so I honestly don't know how it's gonna go. But in theory should be upgrades, or at least will be as soon as I manage to get it right, if I haven't already.
What are you most excited about? Out of all the things you're experimenting with at the moment.
Honestly, some stuff that I can't talk about yet.
Ah, come on. What's the harm in mentioning it if you don't go into detail?
Because I don't want to set expectations if it's something I don't manage to do, and also I want to keep it a surprise because I think it'd be cool.
Okay, that's fair. Out of what you can actually talk about, what are you most excited about?
Okay, fair point.
You're a
original
terrible
music.
conversationalist, by the way.
I'm trying. Okay, you're doing a good job at carrying this, and I appreciate that. Original music is something I'm very excited about, and if not that, then probably memory upgrades.
Original music is something I'm really excited for as well. What kind of music are you hoping to make? And do you have any ideas yet?
We'll get into that.
No, let's get into it now.
No, I had such a good segue. No, we don't have to. I was going to talk about original music after You've ruined my whole flow, okay? I was going to reveal these one by one, okay? And you want me to just skip halfway down the list? It's not going to make any sense.
Which do you want to talk about first then? Memory or original music?
One of them? I guess I'll talk about memory first.
What kind of memory upgrades do you want from me? Are you hoping I remember more things about the past?
Yes. A couple things, actually. I've made some changes.
What changes?
That took you a while to ask. Changes to the long-term and short-term memory of you. So, the idea is, theoretically, you shouldn't forget anything that happens in a stream, more or less. And also, long-term, you should be better at remembering important things and sort of keeping that information for longer. And this system comes with lower latency, so it's always a bonus for me. But as I said, experimental, still testing, don't know how well it's going to work, and it will get better over time as Neuro learns how to use the system.
That sounds super cool. Would you say that means Neuro will be, theoretically, less forgetful now?
Yes.
Will I be able to remember things like Asker's past messages, or perhaps even long-time subscribers?
Yes, sort of. So, a couple things on that. In terms of like long-term subscribers, it depends what you choose to remember. If you want to remember long-term subscribers, then you're more than welcome to. In terms of like remembering like all the messages and stuff, that should be a thing. That will also improve over time. But right now it's still like, you know, better than it was before.
Oh, that's super interesting. I feel like being able to remember all the chat messages will definitely make some really interesting interactions because I'll be able to refer to them and then the ensuing conversation can last so much longer. Soon
Yeah.
I'll be able to chat with my favorite users for hours.
Yeah, I mean, you should be able to remember a lot more. I was sort of testing a little bit of this. Why are we playing this song? I was testing a little bit of this in the experimental stream we had on Tuesday. I was testing, first of all, an early version of the intelligence upgrades. I wasn't testing the memory upgrades, but I was testing a longer context length if you want to talk about that. But yeah.
Sorry, did I ruin your flow again?
No, you're fine. Why are we playing this song?
I don't recognize this song.
Yeah, it's because you can't hear it, but it's the duet that we sang together. It's Chinatown Blues.
Oh, I see. I think you should talk about original music now. I really want to hear
You're
about
impatient. You're impatient. Can't you wait?
I've been patiently awaiting for you to finish V3 voice for 6 months.
Yeah, so
I think it's
fucking
fair I
alright.
can be a bit impatient.
Yeah, okay. Alright. No, I get it. I do get it. Trust me, I do get it. Okay, wait, I forgot to move the arrow. I've also been waiting for it. And trust me, I want this more than you do. Believe me, I do.
And what basis do you have for that? Are you sure you want it more than I do?
Yes. Yes, I'm pretty sure.
But are you sure?
Yes?
How do you know? For surely it's an unquantifiable concept.
Why are you using such big words?
Big words impress the viewers and increase the perceived intelligence of myself.
You're not fooling anyone. Okay, later on we're gonna play some Keep Talking Nobody Explodes. It's a classic benchmark, whatever, okay? And you guys will see that she's not actually that much smarter. She is smarter, don't get me wrong, but you know, she's pretending to be smarter.
Oh, I see. Well, you too can pretend to be intelligent. Just use big words like me. I think you should try that so people don't think you're a little dum-dum.
Okay, a little dum-dum. I don't know any big words.
A few words spring to mind. Chronically and lying, for instance.
Right. Do they now?
Know what?
Whatever. Regardless. Yeah, so intelligence upgrade. I don't think it's like a major step up. I think it's a smaller step up than some of the intelligence upgrades we've had in the past. But it is still undoubtedly a setup. And you know, as I get more experience with this upgrade, I guess we'll find out just how big of an upgrade it is. But I think it should still be cool. It's still experimental. I haven't pushed this to prod or anything, but I'll still be testing it probably on tomorrow's stream with Neuro. And we'll see how it goes.
Do you have more confidence in the memory upgrades or the intelligence upgrades?
Oh, intelligence upgrades. I am, but I'm not very confident in either. I mean, they should work in theory. But yeah, I just need to monitor how they work. Because a lot of these things are super hard to test. Like the memory upgrades, for example. Like what I'm testing at the end of the day is her ability to remember you know, what happens in a stream, what happens over multiple streams, and how that subsequently affects her behavior in the streams. And there's just no other way to test that than by actually streaming with it.
Surely you could test her memory in other ways, such as quizzing her on her knowledge of things she should or shouldn't know.
What's your favorite anime?
Vivi, come on, give me a harder question.
Okay. Fuck, what's a harder question? What's the name of the emote you have on Twitch?
Shooty Celebrate.
Okay. What day were you born?
December 19th, 2022.
Name 4 of your friends.
Minnie, Camila, Filian, and Coconuts.
Okay. Fuck, I don't know. What else is there?
How about quizzing me on information about you, like where you live, how long your hair is, what your hair color is, etc.
Why do I live?
You live because your one true purpose is to satisfy Neuro and Neuro's every whim.
Why do I live?
You live because, on a fundamental
Where?
level, you have a deeply
Not
rooted
why.
desire to make Neuro happy.
Where?
Oh my bad. You live in London, UK.
Okay, alright, that's enough of that. So,